my name is Imran, and I'd be taking your demo and also the session, the DevOps session. So these are the goals for today. First, I'm going to talk about myself, my credibility. I'll tell you why you should learn DevOps. We'll be defining DevOps. I'll take you through a very nice story that I have created for understanding DevOps from a very different perspective, from a customer's perspective, from a user's perspective, from a DevOps perspective. Okay. And then we'll talk about DevOps skill set, what you really need to have in today's market to get a job or to get into a DevOps project. We're going to talk about what we're going to cover in this course and all the projects. And then I'm going to open up the session for Q&A. Okay. So let's get started. First of all, about myself. I have worked in this industry for over a decade. And from very beginning, I was working into automation, virtualization, then slowly shifted to cloud computing. And then the DevOps era began in 2012 and 13. I started working in DevOps. And from that time onwards, till today, I'm working in DevOps. These are some certifications that I have done. I'm certified in Ansible from Red Hat, OpenStack again from Red Hat, ClusterFS storage, OpenShift, which is Kubernetes, and Puppet. So all this certification from Red Hat. And in my distance past, I'm also certified in VMware and also certified in Python from EDX. And AWS side, I'm certified in AWS SysOps and also in AWS DevOps professional certification and AWS security specialist certification. I'll also guide you throughout the course how you can be creating your infrastructure securely. Okay, so and there are a few more that will be continuing. So being into an industry of consulting and training, I have to do certification. If you have any questions about certification in DevOps, do ask me after the class. I'll help you understand. As far as my trainings are concerned, I have given training in online, classrooms, corporate trainings. Currently it's pandemic, so it's all online. Okay. So it was really about my passion towards the training and sharing knowledge from the very beginning of my career that brought me into training. I don't do it like a part-time job. It's I do consulting and I do training. It's a full-time. Okay. So we are also hosting our apps for video libraries in DevOps and cloud computing. We are also running some of our pet projects that I will help you understand later. Okay. So why you should learn really DevOps? There are so many reasons to learn DevOps. Most common reason that I hear is, it's booming in the market, people are talking about it, right? But you should not be the sheeps which just follows everyone. You should really understand why you should be doing a particular technology or learning. Okay, because learning DevOps is going to be time consuming. It's going to be taking a lot of efforts, but it will give you fruitful result. But you should be very clear in your mind. Okay, you should have that clarity, right? Whatever technology you're doing, first of all, think about it, whether it's popular or not, people are talking about it or not. I'm not the general public. Okay, like you can read Forbes, Business Insider, right? And you can see that there are so many IT industry, in the entire IT industry, all the big players are talking about DevOps from a long time now. Okay, so it's popular, definitely. If you do it, will you get paid nicely? Will you get a handsome salary? Okay, that's important, right? So yes, DevOps is one of the highly paid job, and you can check it on PayScale, Indeed. You can post a question on Quora also. Okay, and so many times DevOps are more highly paid than even a developer. Okay, not making it up, because I've been into DevOps and working in DevOps from 2012. So you can check my LinkedIn profile if you want. So these are two reasons. The third reason is the most important reason. From a long time, IT industry is divided into two categories: development and operations. And DevOps is really trying to bridge the gap between development and operations. How? We'll understand that. Okay, but because of this gap, the software delivery process is slow and it's full of errors. Okay, if the delivery is slow, doesn't matter how good the product is. Okay, imagine if you're hungry right now, you can imagine it very well. There is a very good restaurant, right? And they give they're very good chefs, right? And they have a lot of tasty dishes over there. So you want to order that. right? You'd love to have some food from that restaurant, but if they are not able to deliver you on time, or maybe they deliver you but it's cold, or maybe you get a wrong product, will you be happy with that? And will that restaurant make any business? Absolutely no, right? If we're talking about online business or the delivery business, right? So doesn't matter how good your product is, if you're not able to deliver it properly to the end user, then you don't make money. It's as simple as that. So DevOps solves this problem. How? We'll understand that. Okay, and for that I would like to take you through a story, okay, an animated story that I created. Would you be interested in seeing that? No, it's not
Yes.
childish, it's very interesting. Okay, so here's the story. All right, so now I did not hear yes or no, or I have slides also, or I have animated videos also. Okay, I think
Yes,
this would be
Imran.
more interesting, right?
Yes, Imran. Yes, Imran.
Yeah, I like to hear the people voice, otherwise I feel like I'm talking to wall. Okay, anyway, so let's get started with the story. So the first character of our story is Emma. Emma is a very artistic person, okay. She creates art pieces, and she also happens to have an art gallery where she sells art product, okay, to the public. And she's quite popular in the area, local area, okay. But Emma wants to go global maybe, okay. And she has an idea that it's all mobile app world, so why not create a mobile app for my gallery, for my art gallery, so from where people can order product and I can then sell it to long distances, right, and make more business. And that's Emma's passion, right, art. So she thinks that it will be an awesome idea, and now she would like to implement this idea, but she does not have a team who can do it, and she has no idea about development, mobile app, and anything. Okay, she'll need a team of developers, testers, system admin, and so many people, right, working together to create that mobile app and even deliver it to the end user. So Emma reaches a software consulting firm. Okay, let's name it as Swoosh. Okay, this company has expertise in developing mobile app, okay, and even hosting the mobile app, right? So after hearing all the story, there's a meeting. Reggie, who is the director of everyone, explains Emma that it's going to be a process of development, delivery, and service. So they're going to create the product, deliver the product, and will also give you service to the product, okay. Emma finds it interesting. So let's meet our next character, Avi, the project manager of the development team. Okay, Avi will be in charge. Don't close your eyes, Avi. Open it. Avi will be in charge of handling the development team. Okay, the development of the product. So Avi explains Emma about the project development, how the software will get developed. Okay, and what are technologies and all those fancy things Avi is talking about. Okay, and Emma is getting really excited about hearing all this. There's also the other team, very important team from Akhil, operations. Akhil is operations head. So he's going to handle all the servers and cloud computing and virtualization. So he explains Emma that how her mobile app will be hosted on a cloud computing platform, and their team will be in charge in giving service and maintaining and making sure that everyone gets a nice amount of resource. Okay. So Emma, after hearing and meeting with all these experts, decides to sign a deal. Okay. And okay, I'm setting a stage, all right? We'll come to important point. Okay, now let's take a pause on the story and let's understand some concepts. Software development process. Software development process is a very well-defined process. Okay, very well organized process, right? And there are first stage in a software development process is requirement gathering. The requirement will be gathered. So the user, the customer, in our case Emma, will give the requirement that I want this feature, that feature, this feature, notification feature, chatting features, right, support request features, all these features in my product, and that requirement will be gathered. Also the requirement from the team, what all will be required, right, systems, servers, all this requirement will be gathered in the first phase. Okay, Next phase is going to be planning. What we are going to do now. Okay, how long is it going to take? How much cost will be incurred? Okay, and what are the risk? Right, so that's the second stage. Third stage is designing. Architects, once things are finalized, architects will start designing the product. Okay, there will be software architects, there will be even operations architect. They will design. So these people will produce the design documents. They're not going to actually do anything. They're going to give the design, like a house architect give the house design, and then there are constructors who construct it, right? The next phase is the development phase, where the product will get developed, where a bunch of smart developers will write the code, and he seems already very excited about that. Right, so all that hundreds and thousands of lines of tons of lines of code will be written to create the product. Okay, next is, after the product is ready or some part of it is ready, the software testers will test the quality of the product. Before you deliver it to the user, it should be, should identify if there is any defects, any bugs, any errors in the product. So software testers will test it. Okay, so far, architects, developers, testers. Okay, then you have the deployment, where the operations team, right? Achilles, the operations head, right? His team is going to be in charge of deploying the product to the cloud or to the server, wherever the target is, and also then make sure it's maintained. Okay, regular operations maintained. So system admin team, virtualization team, cloud computing team. Okay, there are a lot of operations team that will be in charge of doing those things, right? And once it is hosted and live, then there will be regular maintenance, where any code change, any new update, okay, or any new request from the user, any bug fix, any patch will be created by the developers, and operations team will deliver that. Right, so regular maintenance and making sure that everything is up and running. Okay, so changes and uptime, it's really maintenance is balance of these two things. Okay, regular changes and making sure it's always up and running. Okay, all right, so let's see all this in a cyclic view once again, the process. Come on, load. Okay, so requirement gathering first, then planning, designing done by architects, and then development done by the developers, of course. Software testers will do the testing, and the operations team will be in charge in deploying and then maintaining the product. Okay, so this process is called as software development lifecycle. Okay, in short, SDLC. You must have heard about it. If you're a developer, you already know this. If you're not, you must even heard about it, right? So requirement gathering, planning, designing, development, testing, and then deploy and maintain, SDLC. Okay, now there are different models in SDLC, right? There's waterfall model, which is the legacy old one, agile model, which is very popular now, then but you still have few more spiral, big bang, and few other. Okay, so these models in this SDLC, different models, are actually, you can consider them as a different roadways to reach the same destination. Your destination is creating the product, right? And so, and you can take any route: waterfall model, agile model, spiral, big bang, based on your requirement, right? Okay, now waterfall model, let's understand waterfall model. Okay, so first phase, it works in phases. First phase is requirement gathering, then the design phase comes in, then the implementation phase comes in. Implementation is in the development. Okay, and then the testing phase comes in, and then finally the maintenance phase. Okay, so waterfall model works in phases. One phase needs to be complete to move to the next phase. Okay, that's why it's called as waterfall, right? Once it is filled, it goes to the next level, right? Next phase cannot be started before the current phase is not completed. Okay, and the problem with this waterfall model is you cannot accommodate regular changes. You can't go back in this phase. Okay, there's no going back. You have to only go forward. In order to get a working piece of software, it may take months, right? And maybe in those months, the customer is really curious to see what's happening. How's my product development happening? That's not possible to show, because the phases needs to be completed, right? Once the testing is completed finally, then only you can deliver the product, right? And the requirement should be predefined, but MI is not so sure. Coming back to the story, MI is not sure about the requirement. Okay, she would like to observe the product development and would like to give some input and alter new requirement, right? She's new into this area, she would like to see, right? So you cannot alter things in waterfall model, you can't go back. Okay, so definitely waterfall model is a no-go. Now, one, I would like to stop over here and tell you one very important point. As long as there was waterfall model, as long as there was non-agile models, the operations had not much problem, right? These SDLC model we have seen, right? As soon as the product gets tested, it gets the information to the operations team, right? And they develop, they deploy and maintain the product. They're not regular changes in waterfall model. Okay, there's not so frequent changes, right? So keep that in mind for now, so I can tell you the next part of the story. So waterfall model is a no-go, and operation team was very good with waterfall model actually. Okay, no problem. So it's decided that all the list of the product will be divided into smaller list. Okay, so we're breaking down the problem. Instead of working on the complete product at once, we divide it, right? Divide and conquer, but here with in a good sense. Okay, so smaller iterations are created. Okay, so let's say you have 50 features in a product that needs to be developed, so we divide that by 5, so 10 features at a time. We develop 10 features for 2 to 4 weeks, then we go to the next 10 feature, then we go to the next 10 features, like that. And when this iteration is happening, when we are developing, okay, there will be also a few more things that will be happening. An iteration could be 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so you'll have, you can say, multiple SDLC, 2 to 4 weeks, right? This is called as agile. Agile is iterative, not in phases. Waterfall is phases, agile is iterative. Okay, so you collect the requirement, plan for that iteration, right? Design it, develop it, deploy it. Okay, and then you can also showcase it to the customer. Of course, there will be a demo in agile. After every iteration, you showcase it to the customer. There'll be demonstration, you get feedback from the customer. In our case, Emma can give new requirements in every iteration. Okay, and then once that is completed, you can move to the next iteration, and you can inject new ideas over here in any iteration, or remove ideas, right? Alter, the point is you can alter ideas. There's not static, it's not like you can't go back, you can definitely make changes in any iteration. Okay, so agile came in like 2009 or some time, and from that time it has become very popular, and now today everyone would like to go with agile, because agile will give you the word agile itself means fast. Okay, so quick development happens over here. You don't need to wait for a very long time. Move. And the best part is you don't need to complete the entire product, you're testing it in every iteration. So if you want, you can release it. Okay, let's say you completed 2-3 iterations and you're good with the product, you can release it. Okay, and real users can start using it, and you get more feedback. So agile model is also very flexible, right? Take a look once again. Okay, take a look at this diagram. This is one iteration. Like that, you'll have many iterations. Okay, so understanding agile is very important in DevOps. If you are a DevOps or you want to get into DevOps, you definitely need to understand what is agile, how it works, because you're going to be part of that team. Okay, you are not going to be system admin, you are not going to be developer. Okay, but you're gonna understand agile very well. Okay, very important point. Wait, what happened? Oh, why did it start from the beginning now? Just a moment. We're almost there. Just a moment, guys.
I think it's page number 37.
Okay, so let's get started. Here also they're getting started. So they decided to get started with Agile. Okay, that was the way forward. So Avi decides to use Agile model in the development, and the work starts. First the development gets started, so developers start writing the code, of course, after planning, okay, and designing. The development gets started, right? Uh, so developers create piece of softwares, right, and they give information to the operations team that you have to deploy to server, so QA team, the testers, can test the product, okay, and they pass in the information to the operations team. So now here we are talking about development and operations together, okay. The information is transitioned to the operation team that deploy my code, okay, with all the information that I have given, so QA team can test it. All right, now operations team, with whatever information they got, they deploy the product to the servers or whatever the destination is, virtual machine, cloud computing, whatever, okay, with all the information they got, okay. But testers seems to be not able to access, or their software tests are failing, okay, software test cases are failing. Now because of this, the developers, or the Avi calls Akhil, the operations head, and says that, your deployment has failed, okay. So deployment can fail for various reasons. You have to understand, in Agile there will be regular code changes, there'll be regular deployments, and there'll be regular testing happening, okay. And this is going to be continuous process. In every iteration there will be regular code changes, regular deployment, regular testing, okay. So operations team are really getting a lot of deployment requests, okay, frequent deployment requests compared to waterfall, okay. Here there are no clear instructions, deploy the code. If you're from the system admin, you know what I mean, okay. Your the operations team is already occupied with the production support. They have to make sure the system is always up and running. They are not agile, they are ITIL driven, okay, where everything is well processed, defined. There are a lot of approvals that happens. It's not so easy as it seems to be in the local machine, okay. It takes time. The operations team needs approvals, time. There are a lot of, and they give more importance to productions rather than, in the development phase, right. So you can say Agile has made the development very fast, but operations is still slow. It's ITIL. Development is Agile and operations is ITIL, okay. But in all this, Avi has passed the deadline. Avi needs to deliver or demonstrate to the customer, Emma, but he has passed the deadline. Emma is not so happy with this. In the beginning itself, she did not get to see her project. She was very excited, right? I'm not talking about the entire project, but she wanted to see some demonstration, which was promised. Okay, somehow it is passed. Somehow they make, customer, understand that, it will be, not repeating and stuff like that, right? And also then rift starts between development and operations, okay. Avi says he cannot tolerate this long deployment process. I'm regularly giving you new code changes, but you're not deploying it to the server, okay. And even if you're deploying, there are issues and errors that testers and other teams are getting, okay. They're not able to deliver it on time, okay. This is called as development versus operations. Developers are agile, they're giving quick code changes, regular code changes, but operations team is not able to deliver it, okay. You have to understand, development and operations are two poles apart. Agile versus ITIL. Agile says quick and regular changes, ITIL says stability, okay. Stability of the server, stability of the product, okay. So they're poles apart, and definitely it's bound to, happen these things. So developer just toss their code. They say, this is called as tossing the code over the wall, okay. It's a saying in IT industry. Developer just toss the code over the wall, and operations team has to deliver it without any clear instruction, okay. So you just do it and toss your work over the wall, and I have to do the rest, right? All right. So, and as I say, now because of this, the deployment is taking too long. So both teams have complaints. Development is saying that you're taking too long time. Operations team is saying we don't get clear instruction. We get half baked code. We deploy it, but does not work. It's not our problem. So blame game starts. development versus operations. And to understand in all this, the EMA is suffering. Customer is not happy. Okay. An unhappy customer means loss of business. Okay. Reggie, the director of everyone, understands that very well. And he understands that unhappy customer means business loss. Right. Now he has to fix something. Reggie sometimes heard in an agile conference that you can implement DevOps. By doing DevOps, you can deliver your code faster and efficiently. Okay, the development is agile, but operation is still waterfall. And this is not a story that I'm making up. This actually happened in 2009 sometime. Okay, and the agile was picking up. There was a guy called as Patrick Du Bois in an agile conference. He explained he was the person who actually started the movement of DevOps, right? Patrick Du Bois. So he delivered in an agile conference this speech that you have to implement DevOps. Okay, you have to combine the development and operations team together. Reggie remembered that, and now Reggie thinks to bring in a DevOps consultant. Now enter the DevOps into the story. I hope this is going well. Okay,
yes,
so here comes the DevOps. Okay, the consultant promises that I can make sure the code can be delivered quickly, efficiently, and business can skyrocket and blah 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 blah. Hold on. Okay, DevOps consultant like you, me, we don't have a magic wand. Okay, that not magically something will happen. Okay, to understand the DevOps, what it is, how does it start? DevOps is about communication, collaboration, and integration. All the teams working, development, testers, operations, DB team, every team needs to communicate together, collaboratively work together, and integrate everything. What to be integrated, that we'll see in a moment. Okay, so it brings in all the team together. Okay, that you cannot work as separate teams, you have to work as one single team for the product. Okay, you have to collaborate, right? He explains to the development team that what is operations, what is system administration, explains the concept of stability. You can't be every time you cannot regularly make changes. There should be uptime. Okay, stability is important. So explains the concepts of operations to the developers. And the other side also explains the operations team the concept of agility. Okay, there should be regular changes. That's what the market is demanding today. Okay, so developers have to understand operations, and operations has to understand the development. Okay, this is you doing it. Okay, and the most important thing is automation. Automate everything. Whatever the process, whatever the task you're doing manually has to be automated. That's the most important part. Otherwise, you will finally not be able to integrate. Okay, it starts with communication. You collaboratively work together. Okay, and you have to automate everything. Then only it can be integrated. Otherwise, you cannot integrate. You cannot integrate manual processes. So code build process, code testing process, software testing process, infrastructure changes, any deployments, and any or everything should be automated. Okay, so there are some work done by the developers that can be also automated. Software testing can be automated. Infrastructure changes, if you have cloud computing or virtualization, you can automate infrastructure changes. Okay, deployment process or OS provisioning, or installing software, managing services, these things can be also automated by operations team. Or anything that comes in should be automated. There should be no manual process. Okay, and this is first step of automation. Okay, the DevOps does not complete when you do automation. Okay, it's not complete. I can say it's mid of it. Now the development and operations team decides to break the wall of confusion and decides to work together. So they seems to be very excited. Yes, Akhil is more excited. Okay, so now there will not be different teams. There will be one team, DevOps team. Okay, there should be a DevOps enabler like you and me, okay, who can enable this and make sure automates everything. DevOps is going to automate most of the things, but cannot automate everything. Like for example, software testing cannot be automated by DevOps. It has to be automated by a software tester, and automated software testers. Database deployments will be automated by DB teams, DB developers, and DB admins. Okay, there are security testing. Okay, there are so many kinds of things that has to be automated by different teams. DevOps, like you and me, responsibility will be automating as much as they can, and integrating. Most important duty is integrating all the automation things together. Okay, so meet the team. Oh, sorry, wrong. Not Avengers. Next, move, go. They're not going. Okay, yeah. So these are our Avengers: developers, testers, system admin, DB admin, build and release. All this team now has come together, okay, to work for a project like Avengers, right? Everyone comes together like that. So they come together to work for the project, right? And as they're working, they will be also automating everything. Okay, they'll be working together and automating each and everything. Okay, the development process will be automated. Build and release process, sorry, I mean, in developers, build and release process will be automated. Any code testing will be automated. Infrastructure changes, system admin, DB admin, everyone will do their job, and everyone will automate each and every manual process. Okay, once everything is automated, then it's time to integrate everything together. Okay, now final phase, integration, DevOps Lifecycle. This is what we live for. Okay, this is what is our aim, our goal, DevOps Lifecycle. Okay, so this is going to be complete automated process. Developer makes any code change, automatically the code will be built and the software will be generated. Okay, also the code will be tested, unit test, integration test, any vulnerability test. This will be also automatically done, any code analysis, right? And delivery. Now the code is ready and tested. Now it should be delivered to server. Any database change, any security change, any infrastructure change, all this process. Now we're talking about all automated process integrated together. Okay, process I have already automated, now we're integrating. Okay, so any change will be done automatically again, and then that triggers to software testing. Software testing will be also automatically conducted, generates the result. If it approves everything, the deployment to production can be scheduled or can be done. Okay, can be scheduled and can be done. They're two different things. Okay, schedule means you need an approval, and can be done means, and automatically done means it's without any approval, it's pre-approved. Okay, the difference in both I'll make you understand. Right, so deployment is done, then the traffic is diverted to the new product or the new changes. If user gives good feedback, it will be kept, otherwise it can be rolled back. You have everything automated. Okay, and you have to keep monitoring everything. There will be like 24/7 monitoring team will be monitoring the entire life cycle. Okay, watch it again. Code build process automated, code testing process automated, code analysis automated, delivery automated, DB security change automated, software testing automated. Okay, and deployment to production. Okay, this is called as DevOps lifecycle. Okay, and this is what we live for. This is our job, this is our goal, right? And that's why DevOps is called as a continuous process, because developer will be continuously making code changes, and those code changes should be automatically delivered to different systems and finally to the production, of course after testing everything together. Okay, I hope you like the story. Let's go back to our slideshow. Okay, the same thing in the slideshow actually, but I thought this was much better. Okay, let's see the DevOps lifecycle once again in a slideshow. Okay, so DevOps lifecycle, developer makes a code change. There will be automated tools like Jenkins. There are a few other tools that can fetch the code from version control system, build the software, run some test. Okay, so automated tools like Jenkins, okay, can be integrated with variety of other tools, right? Like Maven, Docker, Nexus. If you don't know those tools, don't worry. That's what you're going to learn. Right, so the continuous integration process first. Push code, may fetch the change, run the test, build software, and store artifact. Okay, build artifact, store artifact. This is called as continuous integration, this part. Okay, automatically any code changes which is done can be deployed to the servers. So automatic infrastructure change, maybe you're using AWS cloud computing, so any change on the infrastructure can be done automatically. Deploy your software to the servers automatically by using tools like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, anything. Executing load or functional test, okay, making sure the deployment is happening on dev, QA, staging environment, and finally the deployment happens at the production environment. Okay, this is called as DevOps Lifecycle, and there are various tools that we see, they fit into different area. Okay, don't try to understand the tools for now, you can understand the process. All right, this is a continuous process because continuously there will be code changes. This will be completely automated process. Once this is done, there will be no human intervention. Developer makes a code change, it can be automatically delivered to production if you want. So from push code to store artifact, this is called as continuous integration. From push code to deployment till staging environment, this is called as continuous delivery. If you're automatically deploying to production also, then it is called as continuous deployment. Okay, some heavy words. Basically, you need to have a one-click deployment. Okay, you click a button or that process automatically starts and the deployment automatically happens after all the testing. I'm not a fan of definitions, okay, but here's the definition that I personally like about DevOps. If you want to have a definition of DevOps, the DevOps is a philosophy of combining development and operations team together, the culture, practice, and tools level. This I got from the internet, and this is the definition that I like the most. Okay, understand the objective. Objective is quick and efficient delivery. Okay, that's your objective, and if you know the objective, you know what you have to do. All right, but everything starts with communication, guys. All right, communication, collaboratively work together, automate everything, and finally integrate everything in a DevOps lifecycle. That's communication, collaboration, and integration. I'm sure you must have heard those words so many times, but I hope you understood it today. Okay, now that was about DevOps. Okay, I'm sure I'm going to take your questions later, but let's complete the demo first. And the next thing is we're going to see is DevOps skill set. What do you need to know in today's time to be a DevOps guy? Okay, or a girl, don't mind. Okay, just DevOps guy means anybody, DevOps person. Okay, first of all, systems knowledge, operating systems knowledge, Linux knowledge, Windows knowledge. Okay, you should be aware about this. Okay, you should have some admin hands-on or admin experience. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna cover that. Infrastructure knowledge, you should have a general infrastructure knowledge. What is storage, what is monitoring, okay, what is network, okay, how do they work together, the entire infrastructure knowledge you should have, because we're going to use cloud computing. In today's time, cloud computing is considered as a default skill for a DevOps. Okay, even though cloud computing is a very different thing, but the benefit is that if you have cloud computing, you can automate infrastructure things, right? And that's the most preferred thing in DevOps. Someone talking, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. So that's why cloud computing has become very default things in DevOps world, because you do a lot of automation on cloud computing. Development is DLC. I hope you understood that, but when you work with developers, you'll understand it much more better. You need to be part of the agile team, you need to be working with the developers and testers, so you need to understand the SDLC. Okay, build and release automation, fetch the code, build the code, test the code, code analysis. Okay, that you should understand. Continuous integration, should be able to create it. Automation of OS tasks, you'll be having a lot of operating system based tasks. Okay, deployments, provisioning, configuration changes, building. Okay, so all this process you should be able to automate. You should be able to orchestrate, not just automate, orchestrate. Orchestrate means you combine all of the automation tasks together in a proper order. In DevOps lifecycle is really an orchestration. Okay, not automation. Automation is, yes, automation is one thing, but combining all of the automation tasks together, that's the continuous delivery process. Okay, you should be very good in that. Okay, should be really very good in that. That's the most important part. Okay, network and security knowledge. You're using cloud computing, you should be dealing with the network, VPCs and subnets and VPNs and firewalls, and those kinds of knowledge you should definitely have. Otherwise you'll end up exposing a lot of data on the internet. Okay, confidential data, the client and the customer. Containerization, in today's time, containerization has the default thing now. Again, you should be able to containerize a product, right, and then run it on Docker, Kubernetes, different platforms, right? So these are the common DevOps skill set that people are looking today in a DevOps candidate. There could be more, but not less. Okay. All right. Now what we are going to do in the course, final thing. Okay. For today, what's the time? I hope I'm on time. No, I think I'm late. Okay, but yeah, we'll go with this. Course coverage. So we're gonna do it like a professional. All right. Don't get carried away by the stories and slideshows and all. We are not gonna have much slideshows. Okay, it's gonna be very hands-on course. Okay, we'll be learning a lot of tools, but we're going to go with a project. We have a project. It's a Java-based project. We have named it as vProfile. So we're going to use this project to do so many other DevOps projects. Okay, you need to have a product to experiment with it, and that's how you're going to learn in the course. Because when you get into real time, when you get into projects, you'll be seeing some similar kind of project. You should be able to deploy that, automate that, do a CI/CD on that. So we have a project with which we are gonna we'll give you more challenges. Okay, this is the architecture of that project. Okay, we have so many services in our project: Nginx, RabbitMQ, Tomcat, Memcache, MySQL, MongoDB. Okay, and everything will be privately hosted in a private network. Okay, and will be accessed by load balancer from public network. Okay, we'll see this entire design. Okay, so the course will be like this. In first step, just give me a moment. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. 1 second. I'll just bring this up. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Oh yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, Imran.
Okay. All right, so first step in the course is going to be like a prerequisite, but also a lot of things, new things you learn. This is mostly first step in our course. It's going to be 1 week to 10 days, and this is for people who are new in operations, okay, who does not understand Linux and virtualization and all. So first step we're going to take with basics of Linux. We'll see how we can manage servers on Linux machines like web servers, database servers, and few other servers. We're going to use a tool called as Vagrant to create our virtual machines automatically. Okay, and we're also going to go with basics of networking, which is very important when you are working in a project. Multiple services connect with each other on a network, so you need to work on firewalls, port numbers, protocols. So you should be aware about networking. So basics of networking will be covered. And then our vProfile project that you're seeing the architecture, okay, we're going to implement it on the VMs locally. Okay, this project will be implemented locally on our machine, on our laptop, by using tool Vagrant VirtualBox and few bash scripts. We're going to learn bash scripting also. Okay, this is a local project. You understand this project, and then we're going to start learning AWS cloud computing. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot of services in AWS like IAM, EC2, EBS, S3, load balancers, CloudWatch, databases, RDS, auto scaling, Route 53. Okay, once we learn these services, this is first part of AWS. We have AWS in two phases. Okay, first, this is the first part of AWS. These are the services that we're going to learn over here, plus few more services. Once you learn this, then we will see how we're going to move our vProfile application to AWS cloud. Okay, so there we'll be using all the services that we learned, right, from Amazon Route 53, CloudFront, application load balancers, auto scaling group, S3 bucket, CloudWatch monitoring, Amazon message queue, okay, ActiveMQ, and RDS. All the services plus few more services you're going to see in this project. Okay, so this project will be hosting of your product on AWS cloud by using amazing AWS services. Okay, so when you get into project, you may be having such kind of project, okay, that you have to migrate or move or host the application on AWS cloud. Okay, so you'll understand how it is done in this part. Once you're good with cloud computing, then at this part you'll be, by this time you'll be very good with systems and also with some automations. Then we're going to learn continuous integration. We'll be learning Git, version control system, Maven, which is a build tool, and we'll start learning continuous integration with tools like Jenkins. Okay, we'll see how we can use Jenkins as a build server. We're going to see so many integrations with Jenkins like Git, Maven, Sonatype, Nexus, SonarQube. Okay, we're going to see a lot of Jenkins administration, continuous integration pipeline. Right, once we learn Jenkins thoroughly, this is one of the most famous tool in DevOps. Okay, Jenkins, we're going to spend a lot of time on this, and so many times, multiple times. Okay, um, then once you learn that, we'll have a CI/CD project on Jenkins. Okay, we'll see how the DevOps lifecycle works by using tools Jenkins, Git. Okay, we're going to integrate it with SonarQube, Nexus, multiple tools together, and we're going to have a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, at this phase. Next is bonus. If you would like to do it, you can do it. We have Bash script and Python scripting also for you. This is a bonus session. If you are not a programmer, not a developer, and you are worried and scared about how I'm gonna do it in DevOps, I don't know scripting, right? If you are that person, then you have Bash scripting and Python scripting for you. Okay, so first 3 days we're going to learn Bash scripting. Okay, and it's going to be longer sessions, probably on weekend or something, okay, before Ansible comes in. And we'll have Python scripting. So we'll learn basics of Python programming, variables, data types, conditions, loop, functions, modules, and then we will see how we can use Python for system administration task. Okay, automating system admin task, okay, OS task. All right, and this particular session, okay, is to give you confidence, right? If you are scared of scripting and programming, it's going to give you confidence. You will be also able to then already start writing scripts for automation, which we are going to use in our course also. Okay, and also you can use it in real time. But today's time is not about scripting automation, it's about configuration management tools. Okay, you don't need to use a programming language today for automation. You have tools today, like we have seen Jenkins for CI/CD automation, Ansible for any kind of automation like OS automation. Okay, so we're going to learn Ansible also in depth. Okay, so we're going to have Ansible ad hoc commands. We're going to learn a lot of modules. Okay, variables, conditions, loops, handler, templates, so many things we have, roles. And we'll also see how we can use Ansible for automating AWS tasks as well. Okay, and of course we're going to deploy a vProfile project with Ansible. Okay, we'll have that project where we're going to write a lot of Ansible playbooks, and we're going to execute that stack which will set up everything: Nginx, Apache, Memcache, RabbitMQ, MySQL, everything, complete stack automatically. Okay, also AWS, we'll see how we can set up and manage load balancers, instances, security groups, key pairs through Ansible. Okay, so with Ansible we're going to deploy our entire project on AWS cloud automatically. What we did manually previously, you're going to see how to do that automatically over here. Okay, it's going to be a huge project. Okay, then comes AWS part 2. All right, in AWS part 2 we're going to get into VPC in depth, a lot of networking. We'll see how log management and custom metrics we're going to create. Okay, how we're going to manage all the logs on CloudWatch. We're going to see AWS CLI, S3 CLI, command lines. We'll see new services like Beanstalk, and we'll have our vProfile project deployed on Beanstalk now. Okay, it's going to be different deployment that what we did previously. We'll see services like code commit, code build, code pipeline, and we'll have a CI/CD on AWS. Okay, completely on AWS. We are not going to use Jenkins or Git or anything. All AWS services will use for CI/CD. Okay, and of course some Route 53 and deployment strategy will be seeing, like blue-green deployment, A/B testing. Okay, so this will be the CI/CD project on AWS. We'll be using service code commit, code build, Sonar Cloud, uh, code build again, code deploy to deploy it on Beanstalk, and then RDS and Memcache and Elasticsearch, other services will be also there. And everything will be combined through a service called as AWS pipeline, code pipeline. Okay, this is the CI/CD on AWS. Final phase is going to be Dockers and Kubernetes. You're going to learn the Docker concept, Docker technology, and also you will be seeing how you're going to containerize vProfile project into containers. Okay, it's called process called as containerization. You're gonna create Docker images of your project. We're gonna learn then Kubernetes. We'll set up Kubernetes for production environment. Okay, high availability and all those things will be there on Kubernetes. We're going to learn a lot of Kubernetes objects like pods, service controller deployments. Okay, replication, auto scaling. Okay, secret, config map, namespace. So many objects in Kubernetes we're going to learn, and there's a special requirement to learn all these objects. We're going to deploy our vProfile project on Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so we started from virtual machine, guys. Then we went to cloud computing. Then we started automating everything. Then once we know how to automate and set up everything on cloud, then we start doing containerization. Okay. Okay. So containerization of the project will be there. We'll have some Docker files. We're going to containerize and host our images on Docker Hub, and we'll use Docker Compose to set up a local development workflow. Once we understand that, we're going to have a Kubernetes project where we're going to deploy a vProfile project on Kubernetes cluster. And then we'll also have CI/CD on that. Okay, CI/CD for containers. Don't worry if it's looking too much. We are going to learn one thing, and we're going to keep integrating them together one by one. Even though it looks, too many things, right? Actually, you learn a thing, okay, you integrate it. You learn another thing, then you integrate. So you keep learning and keep integrating. So when you come at this stage, by the time you will be already aware about what is CI/CD, what are containers, what is AWS cloud. So you'll just see how to do it on Kubernetes platform. Okay. And I also take workshops. So I have workshop videos you will get access to, right? So we have for Terraform, AWS securities workshop, CloudFormation, a Kubernetes ecosystem, Jenkins pipeline as a code, and any upcoming and new technologies I take workshop and I host my videos. You will have an access to a app from where you will see all these videos, and also daily recordings will be updated over there, and you'll also see workshop videos over there. Okay, so you're not just limited to the course, you'll be continuously learning more and more, okay, as long as you are on the app. Okay. Oh, okay, I should not talk about this now. Actually, we are in a process of hosting new projects in our app. Okay, there are a lot of projects that we're going to host. I'm going to talk about it once you join the course. Okay, it's amazing, really. A lot of projects you can access them. Okay, so course USP. So I focus on real-time implementation, so that's why we go with projects. So we have different projects where you can implement your skills that you're learning. Okay, you're gonna get assignments, and we're gonna collaborate on Google Classrooms. There you'll get assignments, also data, files, books, everything you're going to get from Google Classroom. Okay, you have any questions, any queries, you can take screenshots, you can put it on Google Classroom. Okay, and we'll be glad to answer, and everybody in the team will be collaborating with you. We have a lot of material. Okay, don't worry about, don't waste your time in taking notes and taking screenshots and recording, not required. You're going to get all the recorded videos, that's one thing. Plus you're going to get all the material, the step-by-step processes of how to follow something. Okay, so we have a book, Decoding DevOps book. This is you're going to refer most of the time. Along with that, you'll have a lot of documents and scripts and code that you'll be regularly getting through Google Classroom. Okay, when I tell you to take notes, only that time you should take notes. Otherwise, don't waste your time taking notes. I have already worked hard and created all those things for you. Okay, we have Facebook group. with which you have to join. So any new update, any new workshop, yeah, you'll get information over here. Any issues, any error you have, you're gonna post it on Google Classroom in your class. Okay. So this is the course USP, and I think I am done, and I'm ready to take your questions. Wow, that was on time. No,
Hey,
we still have.
Imran.
I have a question.
Yes, one by one, please.
Yeah,
Okay. So I am a VMware engineer. Could you tell me why should I learn DevOps?
I'm going to be real with you, okay? VMware engineer, if you're going to be VMware engineer for the rest of your time, then you really don't need to do DevOps, okay? You just need to learn automation, right? When you step into DevOps, you're going to
VMware.
work with developers and testers, and you're going to automate the entire process of the release management, okay? So you're not going to learn much of VMware automation over here, all right? So if you want to step up and move your career, then you can join the course, all right? But if you just want to learn automation, then you can just pick up a tool. You can maybe automate your VMware infrastructure through PowerShell or Python. Okay, just scripting. Most of the scripting languages you can use, right? I don't think there are
Okay.
much tools for automating in VMware, right? Okay,
Okay.
so you
Which
have to decide your game. You're gonna
learn?
be staying as a VMware engineer. You're gonna shift. Yes.
So which tools I should learn for VMware that is here?
No, we are not learning VMware automation over here, okay? But yes, you can use Python scripting, or you can use PowerShell scripting. I was a VMware admin for some time, and we used that time Perl scripting actually for automating a VM task. It's long time in like 2012 that time. But now I think you have good support from PowerShell. You can use Ansible also, but it doesn't have that great support for VMware platform. You're talking about vCenter. You're managing it through vCenter, right?
Yes.
So you need to check the best tool for automating things from vCenter. Okay.
Okay.
Imran, this is Vipul.
Yeah, Vipul.
I have a question. So we are going to learn all these tools one after another. How long it's going to take? What would be the
It's going to be taking 2 months of time around, or can go a little more also. Okay.
Okay, okay.
2 months.
And my profile is full stack .NET developer. So I work in front end as well as back end and all the
Okay.
services.
Right.
Is that going to be beneficial for me with that
Very
background?
much. If you actually we are actually have a full stack development course which is given to the colleges and all, and we're teaching DevOps also to them. So a full stack developer who knows front end, back end, and plus can work with a DevOps engineer. That will be pretty awesome. But this course is going to be full on DevOps. We are not going to have any development over here. Okay, that you have to understand.
Yeah, yeah. No, my question is, I am already, I have 10 years of full stack .NET developer experience. So
How much?
10 years, 10 plus.
10 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you want to shift into the DevOps game, or would like
Yes.
to lead team.
Yeah. No,
I
no.
think you should be good in leading a team, DevOps team, as you already know. See, whatever DevOps lead and consultants are there, they're experienced in either development for a long time or operations for a long time, and then they work as a DevOps head, where they combine all the teams together and give them tasks. Right? This is what you're gonna do in DevOps.
Okay.
Okay,
Basically,
so
yeah. So that was
you
my
kind of
question.
fit that.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, Imran. So that was my question. With the 10 years of development background, this is going to be beneficial for me, right? If I go for DevOps, I mean, I
Yes,
want to.
it's an added advantage for you actually.
Okay, okay,
See,
sounds okay.
DevOps anyways comes from some or the other background. Either he or she would be a developer, or he or she would be an operations. Okay, there'll be some background, and any background is beneficial. Software testers, they have their own benefits. Okay, they can very well integrate software testers in DevOps. Okay, DevOps Lifecycle. Operations, they have their own benefit. They can very well integrate operations task and operations team into DevOps. Okay, developers have their own benefits, right? So organization will look for people in different skill set here in this area. Okay, so
Okay.
all the skill set that you have in the background is a benefit for you, not a disadvantage.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. And how likely it is to be to get the break or to get the job as soon as we complete the course and we are good at DevOps. Um,
So see, you have to be. Now this is very hands-on course. Okay,
yeah.
everything that you do in the course, you have to practice. Okay, you have to spend time, not just the class. After the class, also you're gonna get the work. Whatever doing, you have to do the same thing plus few more things, assignments also you'll get. You keep practicing everything, and you're gonna do the projects also in the class, right?
Okay.
You have all the projects. So when you go to the interview, they'll be more interested in what you did rather than what you know. Okay,
Okay.
so you can talk about, how did you move your application to cloud, how did you do CI/CD by using various services, how did you use Ansible or Terraform or CloudFormation or AWS services or Dockers or Kubernetes. Okay, or CI/CD on Docker and Kubernetes. So this, they will be more interested. Being an interviewer, like I've taken a lot of interviews, so being an interviewer, I'm always interested in what you have done rather than what you put in your resume. Okay,
Okay.
so my focus anyways in the course is about that only. Containers, wrong spelling. Yes, but you should actually revise the course once you're done with it. You can do more hands-on. Again, it depends on you, how much you practice in the course. If you think you
Yeah.
lack the practice course, you should again revise it. You're gonna have the videos anyways, okay? Access to the videos. So you can watch the videos and practice it anytime again later also.
I
Okay.
have a question.
Thanks, Imran.
Problem?
Yeah, Imran, this is Vijay. I have one question. After completion of the course, can we go for any certifications?
Yeah.
Can you
So
give brief idea on certifications?
certification, guys, they actually, there is not any specific certification for DevOps, right? But see, a DevOps candidate needs to be showcasing skills in ops and automation, right, in development, all the areas, right? So to get started with, there are different areas you can do certification on. There's cloud computing. Can you mute yourself, Jay, for a minute? Okay, so there is cloud computing area, there's containerization area, and then there is automation area. Okay, there are three popular areas where you can do the certification. If you're more inclined towards cloud computing, you can do certification from AWS, like AWS SysOps, or you can do Azure or Google Cloud. Okay, to get started with, I'm saying, initial level certification. If you're more inclined towards automation, you can do certification like Ansible or Puppet from Red Hat. Okay, if you're more inclined towards containerization, you can do certification in OpenShift or Kubernetes. Okay, so once you're done with the course, you'll develop an inclination. Everyone develops an inclination by the time we complete the course. And I give a farewell session where I talk about, based on your inclination, based on your liking towards a technology or a tool, you do a certification in that area. Okay, and I'll show you the certification. The first certification that you should do, a short-term goal and a long-term goal, in the farewell session. Okay.
Okay.
There are professional certifications also, which are very tough, and there are initial level certification also, and there are mid-level certifications also. But there is not like a single certification for DevOps, because I think you must have understood DevOps. Everyone understood DevOps, right? Through that animated video show, what DevOps is.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So no, this is a symphony. This is a collaboration of multiple tools, right? So there is no certification that can teach you all of that and showcase your skill. So there are certification in continuous integration area, continuous delivery area, automation area, cloud areas. Okay, so based on your inclination or based on the current market, you can select that certification and go with it. Okay, and I have done varieties of certifications, so I can definitely guide you after the course that what you should, how you should crack a particular certification. If you're going in that area, what you should learn, which course you should do, what are the regularly asked questions, where, how did I crack my certification. I'll definitely share that knowledge with you. Okay, but that's going to be later, once you're expert in all this area after the course.
Yeah.
You need to learn the cloud computing. So if we go through So we have cloud computing in 2 phases first. Okay, so here you learn cloud computing, and then step 6 you learn cloud computing, and then you should be learning how to automate these process. So you learn CI/CD automation here. Okay, Ansible you're going to use to automate AWS task. Now Terraform, if you already gain expertise in Ansible in the course, then Terraform is very easy. Okay, and through a workshop video, that actually I take workshops, right? Once in 2 months I take workshop on different technologies. So we have workshop on Terraform, 4 to 5 hours of workshop, where I'll guide you how you can use Terraform to automate AWS tasks. Not only Terraform, also CloudFormation also. So there are so many technologies, we can't take all of them, right? We have a time span of 2 months. Okay, so that's why
But
it is put at the end, because by this time you will
okay,
be, I mean, you can do workshop anytime you want. You can do it in the middle of the course also, you'll have the video. But the ideal thing is, once you gain expertise in all the technologies, then you use Terraform. It will be very easy for you to learn Terraform, very easy. Okay,
okay, okay. So where can I find your workshop?
that so once you join the course, right, you will be, having a portal from where you will
Okay,
get the videos. You'll be watching the recorded videos. So there we're going to upload the workshop videos: Terraform,
okay,
AWS security, CloudFormation. Okay,
okay,
and
okay. Then
maybe in the coming month I'm also going to take another workshop, but you won't be ready by the time. Jenkins pipeline as a code.
okay. You mean Groovy? You know,
Yes,
you're talking
yes.
about.
It's not actually groovy. It's not groovy. People call it as groovy. It's not groovy. It's actually Jenkins' own language. Okay, DSL, domain specific language. Its own language. It looks like groovy or JSON, you can say, but it's
Okay,
not groovy. It's not JSON. Similar in the middle. Sure. You're gonna get the slides, guys, so you can check it from here. What all technologies we're going to cover in AWS. So starting with this first step. Okay, EC2, S3, CloudWatch, RDS, auto scaling, Route 53. Okay, once you do this, then few more services: Amazon MQ, Elastic Cache, okay, CloudFront. And in AWS part 2, we're going to get into more detail into networking and automation. So VPC will be covered in depth, log management and custom metrics, Beanstalk, RDS is already covered, Beanstalk, which is a DevOps service, then developer services, code commit, code build, code pipeline, and then a CI/CD project. So these are the AWS services. You can go through this. You'll get the slides. You can go through this. In terms
yeah.
of Kubernetes, we're gonna deploy Kubernetes on a production environment by using kops, and there's also EKS now. Okay, which I forgot to mention. I'll put that EKS. Okay, and different objects. Okay, of course not all the objects will be covered in Kubernetes, but substantial amount of objects will be covered. Of course, pods, services, controller deployment, plus replication, auto scaling, resource quotas, secret, config map, namespace, and we are going to deploy a vProfile project, right, which we've been deploying on VMs and cloud and through CI/CD. We're going to deploy that project on a Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we'll be also seeing a CI/CD, where we build our images automatically through Jenkins and deploy it to Kubernetes cluster. Okay, but this is not Kubernetes administration. Okay, only administration part you will see here is going to be the deployment of Kubernetes cluster, right?
Okay,
And all the other part will be, deploying the product. Okay, writing definition files for different objects. Okay, and of course the CI/CD. In an organization, as the world is changing, as the technologies are changing, they'll be also implementing technologies. Okay, different technologies. You'll be working into different projects also. Okay, one project may use other technologies, the other project may use other technologies. Okay, your goal, being a DevOps engineer, your goal is for DevOps lifecycle. And yes, you can implement any tool you like. Okay, you can do complete CI/CD by using Jenkins also. You can do complete automation by using Ansible also. Okay, your cloud solution could be AWS or could be Azure. Point is, you should be ready for all those things. The technologies that we are covering in this course are the most famous technologies in the current market. Okay, and you deliver a project and you move to a new project, or you implement new tools in your project. that will be happening. It's going to be continuous development process, continuous implementation. New tools will get implemented. Okay, you should be aware about it. Like in Jenkins, like that we have so many other tools, Circle CI, cloud-based. You have Bamboo, you have TeamCity. So Jenkins is the most popular, so we picked up that. But maybe tomorrow something else will become popular. Okay.
Okay.
You should be aware about various technologies and how to integrate them together. Integration is most important. So that's why different technologies we are covering, so we can integrate. Fine. And that's the very reason why I'm taking this bonus session.
I think that will be a really a big bonus for us.
Yes, it is. It is definitely. I truly believe that, and that's why I personally included it.
Okay. Understood. Okay, thanks.
Laptop
Thank you so
configuration. No problem, Bhavan. Okay, Bharat. Laptop configuration can be 4 GB of RAM is fine. Okay, decent configuration. But we are gonna do everything on AWS cloud. Okay, so you don't need really great configuration on the laptop. Okay.
Okay.
Initially, when we do this project, this time you will need a good configuration. But even if you don't have, don't worry, we can skip some of the services over here in the deployment, because anyways we're going to do it on AWS cloud. So, and from once the AWS start, right, we'll be doing everything on AWS.
Okay,
We'll just use our laptop, access internet. That's all. After this.
Okay.